Right. Today is March 2nd, 2026. Well, a lot of them scattered again. I made sure I went over what was wrong with me when I had all that medical malpractice. It's not funny. Even an investigator said it's a good thing we didn't find out about all that medical fraud because those doctors would have been in jail. We would have took care of them. I almost died from medical malpractice, 25 years ago. You know, these church people and the people who are doing this, I did not have to share what was wrong with me when I went through all that medical malpractice. I didn't have to share it. I didn't have to choose to make it public. Your medical records and medical information is under a federal law called HIPAA. It's between you and your doctor, and it's nobody else's damn business. And where people say, well, we want you to explain. You don't have to explain anything. It's none of their damn business. They need to learn it. They need to embrace it. It is protected under a federal law called HIPAA, a right to privacy over your medical records. It's nobody's damn business for what you're seen for, what you're treated, nor can your doctor talk about you. Nor can they share your medical records, nor are they public knowledge, nor do you have to explain yourself for what you were treated for at a doctor's office. It's nobody's damn business. And where these abusive church people, that like to hire drug dealers to drug, beat, and rape people and run fraud schemes on the government, be a little terrorist group, make up unbelievable schemes trying to extort money out of the government. And then they want you to explain yourself. It is none of their damn business. Anybody comes up to you and say, I want you to know something about your medical history. Tell them it's none of their damn business. It is covered under HIPAA, a federal law called HIPAA, a right to privacy between you and your doctor. And the treatment that you were seen for is nobody else's damn business. Nor do you have to explain yourself, nor anything. I chose where all these people are running around. Oh, she was a faker back in 03. She was a faker. She was a faker for this, faker for that. And it was medical malpractice. And it took me 9 months to get well. I almost died from medical malpractice. Oh, she's a faker. What are you, 5? 8? Seriously. It's like you act like a bunch of retards. Like a bunch of retards. A bunch of retards. Okay? Seriously. Who the hell talks like that out of grade school? Out of grade school. Middle school. Tops. Who talks like that? Children. And, that minister making up that pathetic lie when he thought I was following his son with his girlfriend, and here it was my sister following her husband, cheating on him, and he thought it was me, and he made up a baby's maybe lie. A baby's maybe lie in November of 2003. 23 years ago. 23 years ago. A baby lie. By an occult leader, thinking I was following his son committing adultery, and it was my sister following her husband. So, You know, how many times have I went over the medical, what was wrong with me, the recovery, hmm? And it was all wrote up as fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. And I was encouraged to sue those doctors for years. And other doctors represented me. They almost killed me. If I would have sued them, I would have been a millionaire and they'd still be in prison for attempted murder, fraud, insurance fraud, medical malpractice. I chose to let it go because my son had tried to kill himself. And taking care of him and getting him well was the main thing. And it's documented that minister pushed my kid to suicide. November, December of 2003, January of 2004, and on treated for post-traumatic syndrome. It's documented in Stark County. Crisis Center, Child and Adolescent Center, post-traumatic syndrome, bulimia because of it. He tried to kill himself twice because a minister pushed him that far. Because he thought I was following his son and his mistress. Had to get rid of me real quick. Made up a baby lie, took my kid and pushed him to suicide. I kept my kid alive. Got him all the treatments he needed and he recovered from being pushed that far. He was a little kid, 14. It's an occult, a severe, dangerous one. Now dealing with drug cartels. I'm going to go over again what was wrong with me and how I got well. I get tired of repeating myself. Tired. And then before I start that, right before the case started, Anita and I think it was Pam were talking at Apostolic Church of Barberton. And they weren't too far off and said, Mary's niece was, she said she was willing to kill someone just for the opportunity of dating someone like Dave. And Dave was excited that he never had somebody willing to kill someone. Willing to kill someone to date him. And he was excited that he met somebody that would willing to kill someone just to date him. It's supposed to be Mary's niece. Let me guess, that's the short-haired blonde Michelle and the Henry Mafia. Somehow is related to that Mary. Right. You got to think. She had, her first husband got killed. Trish's, if it's who I think it is, Trish's dad got killed at work. And so she has that family. Then her second husband's family, where she had all those other daughters. And she divorced him for cheating. So she has that second family. And then she has her own biological nieces and nephews. So she has a huge family. So how much you want to bet that Michelle is one of her nieces messed up in drugs? Because they mentioned something about a poor family. Got the idea. I said something today because I don't know what they're talking about. Of course he did. The biggest liar on earth. Now we're going to have a talk. Now these church people, I never had to explain what was wrong with me. I don't have to answer anybody's question. My medical records are my own. My medical treatments are nobody's damn businesses. They're between me and my doctor. They're covered by a federal law called HIPAA. A right to privacy over your medical records, your medical treatment, and between you and your doctor. And it is covered and protected in severe penalties and severe jail time. Their dirty doctor scam would cost them the minimum of 35 years in federal prison. Okay, The law of HIPAA, we'll do that before I go over what was wrong with me. The law of HIPAA of if an attorney approaches a hospital or a doctor's office, they are not representing you. In a personal injury case like a dog bite, car wreck, uh, you didn't sign ID, sign consent, picture ID. The hospital or doctor's office did not verify it with its sign and picture ID and verbally get your consent. They can talk to them. It's 5 years for fishing for information. Loss of license for the attorney because it's a federal law called HIPAA that your medical records are your own and protected by the government and a right to privacy over it. Nobody's damn business. So if a hospital where they have a thing of a attorney go on to a hospital is willing to talk to them, that's 10 years. For a break-in HIPAA for the hospital, 10 years for the attorney, and 5 for fishing. And then a doctor of theirs was willing to talk to him too. That's 25 for the attorney and 10 for the doctor. And then they were willing to give out medical records. That's another 10, and the attorney now has 35. And 35 for everybody involved without anything else. Millions of dollars of fine for each violation. They're covered by a federal law called HIPAA. What you are seen for, what you are treated for, they are protected between you and your doctor as a right to privacy by a federal law called HIPAA, and it's nobody else's damn business, nor do you have to answer their questions. They need to learn their place. That what people are treated for, what they're seen for, is none of their damn business. And it's a federal crime for them to try to find out. Do you understand? I chose to share what happened to me 4 years ago, 24, 25 years ago or more. Because these people are running around calling me a faker this, faker that. And just to stop the gossip, to stop the onslaught of retardation that seems to be in the water, of people that have no IQ, that you think people can do this to you. Where on earth did you become so mentally retarded and mentally stupid that an attorney could set up body cameras in your home when that is a federal crime, loss of license, felony evasion of privacy, sextortion, cyber stalking? And then we can go drug confession. They can drug you for confessions with fake sodium pentothal, hypnotic drugs and told to say it, photoshopped washing, fake dirty doctors breaking HIPAA. I don't know what drugs they were on, these crackheads, when they came up with a scam, but it's Twilight Zone shit. But I chose to share for them to know how stupid these occult people are running around making up lies to pull a scam to get away with murder. And when you realize how stupid they are, okay, I'm going to do it really quick. About 25 years or more ago, one day I doubled over screaming. Dave rushed me to the hospital. They did an emergency appendectomy. I have a 5-inch scar on my stomach. Okay? They took out my appendix. They said it didn't look bad, but the way she screamed, I couldn't risk it. Well, a month later, I'm screaming again. Dave rushed me to the hospital. He said, have you ever been checked for cysts? I said, what's that? I didn't have one or two. I was full of them. Full of them. Popping inside me. That'll double you over. I was bleeding into my stomach. They had to go through my belly button and around it till I have thick scars. Okay? And they had, one time I was bleeding so bad in my stomach, they said if I wouldn't have been in the hospital, I would have died. They tried burning treatments, medication caused kidney stones. Okay? It got so bad, my uterus flipped over. And I would literally, on my monthly, I'd bleed onto the floor. I would bleed it so heavy. They had to do a lower hysterectomy. A couple months later, I'm screaming again. The endometriosis attacked my ovaries. One ovary had one as big as a golf ball. They said that one burst, you're dead. They had to cut me side to side, take out my ovaries. And then I had scar tissue taken out. My gallbladder went bad. I had that taken out. And my muscles are already twinging, being cut all these times within just a few years. And one day I started bleeding really heavy. And I went to the hospital, and one of those kidney stones kinked my kidney too. They had to cut me 5 inches on my back and take out that damaged part of the kidney. And that's when my muscles clenched. And like the doctor said, they the nerve ends didn't have time to heal in between all those different surgeries on all those different muscles. And your muscles clenched, they seized. No, okay. Well, I'm in so much pain, excruciating pain. They try to give me like a back brace, trying to hold my stomach. Misery. And then at times the muscles would raise up through a skin like this, like a baby's foot. And it would raise up on my arm, my stomach, my legs, and blood vessels would break under the skin, and blood would seep through my skin and run down my leg. I have red freckles from it. And it would be excruciating till I would relax. I was desperate and horrible amount of pain to get out of it. I went to a bunch of crackpots. They gave me medication. My feet started swelling. I said, "This is the medication." "No, you have underlying conditions." "No, I didn't." Gave me more medication. Sent me to more doctors. More swelling. I went from 105 pounds to 275 in 2 years. My legs are triple in size. My knees are so swollen that I'm going to orthopedic doctors because my knees are popping out of place. My feet went from a 7 to 7.5 shoe to 8.5, 9 wide. And my feet are over that thick. I'm falling. They're taking turkey-based syringes of fluid out from underneath my knee, putting steroids in. They ordered canes and braces trying to hold my kneecaps in place. I started having seizures, heart attacks. I had pneumonia several times. And my thyroid and adrenal gland shut down. I was dying from medical malpractice. They were lying so bad. They said I had epilepsy, MS. They said I had level 2 brain tumors, pituitary tumors. I needed part of my brain removed. Before I'll let them take part of my brain out, I go to my community health. They're like, "Whoa, we need to have a long talk." Those doctors are known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick. And sharing them with their associates and friends doing the same thing. They're getting kickbacks from drug companies, and they're draining your insurance like a checking account. Okay? And they make you so sick to do unnecessary procedures. They have defrauded you, and they have almost killed you. You're not the first one. You're not the only one. It's a medicine making you sick. You're going to need an attorney and sue them. We'll represent you in court. There's nothing wrong with you but your muscles locked up. And they're getting kickbacks from drug companies. Told me to turn them over to the state to pull their license. Encouraged me to sue them for 2 to 3 years or more. They had to represent me in court. It's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. I went to Dr. Eli. He agreed. He said, "But your muscles are clenched. And the only way to get clenched muscles to relax is to move them. But you're in so much pain you can't even move." He put me on fentanyl patches. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. They give it in the last stages of cancer. And he gave me muscle relaxers. The first month, I lost 30 pounds off those meds. Second month, I'm pulling myself around stores and malls. I got in so much pain, I ended up in the hospital. By the beginning of the third month, heart attack, seizures stopped. Thyroid, adrenal gland was working. It was all chemically shut down. I could drive a car. Take my canes and braces, I could drive a car. Go to stores, malls, pull myself up and down streets, malls. From October, November of 2002, I was a 24. By April, I was a 16. I'm almost well by April. Dr. Eli was getting mad because I wasn't getting well faster, but I had all that swelling. And he tried to have me put 2-pound weights on my legs and try to walk on them. That causes extreme pain. It took me months. Now, the FBI and police have even recorded my mom, how proud she was of me. She said, Karen, you would take one step and I was so proud, and you'd fall. You'd take two and you'd fall. And you'd fall over and you'd pull yourself back up. You made it 4 steps. You made it 6 steps. You made it 10 steps. And I'd fall on my ass or face, and it was humiliating learning to walk again at 3. At home, I would practice walking all the time. Like I said, by April, I was almost well. May 3rd, 2003, we're all at home replacing carpets. Brian Laney showed up and told us where the church baseball game was. People were running late. Phil was one of the lead cars, and he was speeding so fast he blew through a stop sign, hit a semi, and it was like an explosion. He got ripped into pieces, and Tyler got ejected through the air and slammed on the pavement, and they were instantly dead. It was like a bomb went off. He said it was like an explosion. And he said they were just gone. It was horrible. All right. And John grabbed his phone, my oldest, ran out to his car. Well, where I usually didn't have my canes or braces at home, I would just lean and try to hold on to walls if I went to fall, trying to learn balance. Because we were replacing carpets and other things, going upstairs and down. I had my braces on that day. John ran out to his car when he found out they were dead. Well, he seen me out waddling outside. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Waddling like a duck in May. It took me till July to get well. July. Did anything have to do with anything? No. November of 2003, my sister Linda is married to Strange's kid, Tim, that a cult leader. And she was out one day, and I caught him with Katie. And she started following. My mom followed. My sister Lori followed him. And she wouldn't confront him. She knew they were cheating. We all did, so we just acted stupid. She's not going to say anything. She knows her husband's cheating. We're not going to say anything. It's her choice. She came up to me one Wednesday night in November 2003. I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. I thought, oh, I'm going to get screamed at. Bastard played my death. Because of her actions, he planned my death. If they would have realized it was her, they would have killed her. But they planned my death. They took my kid. That next Sunday morning, they took my kid and pushed him to suicide. Sorry, my foot got stuck. They pushed him to suicide. I stayed home that morning from church, that Sunday morning. So did Josh. Danny came in from church, said, "You're not my mother, I don't have to listen to you." He's 14. It's like you're grounded. He screams crazy crap and runs out. Josh walks in the room. What on earth is wrong with Danny? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, let's go find out. He said, let's go over to his girlfriend Heather's. So we go over there. Her mom, Joy Mendez, and our sister, Brasilia, was there. And said, well, Danny's been thinking about killing himself. I said, kill himself? He said that minister wants him to help destroy people in the church. He said he'd rather kill himself. That's my baby. I'm driving up around stores, up and down streets, everything, looking for him. And I see that minister's car at that church. I pull in. I said, Josh, I don't want him to know Danny's acting out till I find out what on earth is going on. Wait here. I step through the glass door. He pins me in my face. Confess you were never sick. Hello? That's like a 4 or 5 year old ordeal. And I said, I'd never do that. He's like, you're a spoiled little brat nobody likes in this church. And then you're Satan, and just the sight of you would hurt the church's children. I am not that ugly. And then you'll be lucky to see your kid again, and pushes me out. And I got a well on my face. Josh is like, I walk over the car. I said, take me up to Daddy. He took Danny. Dave didn't always have these big jobs. He was at Pizza Hut. I go in, I got a well on my face. I'm crying my eyes out. And I'm telling him what happened. He said, go home, I'll clock out, and we'll go over and find out what's going on with Danny. Well, I went home. I called my mom. She called over there. You better give Danny back. Said, we'll give him back when you're done. And they got into it. You can't keep somebody's kid from them. It's illegal. And da-da-da-da-da. I'll never go to your church again. And they got in a screaming match. And she never went back. And Dave showed up. I said, where's Danny? He said he'd give him back when he's done. He says you're Satan, and just the sight of you would hurt the church's children. Don't look at me. Ah! And runs off. Michelle Kagi next door comes over. Karen, what on earth is going on? And Josh and I walk over, rivers of tears. And I'm saying how he took Danny. Jerry, her husband, walks out and said, I ripped that door off that church and get my kid back. My mom calls me and I walk off crying. Dave shows up and I said, where's Danny? He'll give him back when he's done, and you're never allowed to go to church again. I'm like, why? And he's like, because you're Satan. I'm not the one Satan. Okay? And that night after church, I finally got Danny back. His whole body was shaking. Mom, I'm sorry. He lied. I'm so sorry, Mom. He lied. Next morning, I hear the car start up. It's Danny. I run outside, and he's taking the car, and there used to be big trees in the middle of Lenox, and he's aiming for one. And as he's driving, he goes sideways. Not forward, not this way. He went sideways. And by the grace of God, he missed everything. And it rolled to a stop. And by the time I get down there, he's passed out in the car. I push him over. I get the car home. I leave him alone for a minute. Okay? Just to go to the bathroom, get something to drink. I hear the dirt bike stop. There used to be a telephone pole at the end of Lenox. I go out. It's Danny. He's heading for that telephone pole, and they had dropped gravel around it. Thank God. He's aiming for it, and I'm running after him, screaming, and he falls over sideways again. Got all scratched up. I took my kids and went to my sister's. We get down there. Josh is freaking out. I'm not staying down here with these people. I got the keys. I'll go home. He's 16. I'm not going to let him take that car and go by himself. I put Danny back in the car. We come back. I take Danny to the crisis center. He told the Stark County Crisis Center that Strange took him, wouldn't let him leave, starved him all day, screamed at him on the pulpit till he passed out. He didn't remember half the day, and he screamed at him till he did what he was told, and that's why he tried to kill himself. He told Georgine Vovuso and Linda, a Stark County social worker for the Child and Adolescent Center, the same thing. And a Stark County psychiatrist for the Child and Adolescent Center. He was treated for post-traumatic syndrome, bulimia, ADHD, and a couple other things. I wasn't allowed to leave him alone for 6 months. Georgine Vovuso called Dave and said, I want your participation in that minister taking Danny. He said, I won't talk to you without an attorney. She said, we'll put it this way. One thing happens to your wife or Danny, I'll take care of him myself. They backed way off. They would have killed me in 2003 if it wasn't for her. Dave wouldn't help me with anything. Our insurance had elapsed by then. I had to go get a full-time job with insurance. My wonderful neighbors and new co-workers would take turns sitting with Danny so I could work, so I could pay for 3 times a week counseling for him, medication, and treatment. I had to get him a tutor for school for several times a week, and I had to handle all that myself, and Dave wouldn't help me. And it took him 2 years to get well. It was so bad he got down to 118 pounds at almost 6 foot tall. They almost had to hospitalize him. All because Linda was following her husband. And I found out September 18, 24 at 8:30 in the morning, where they were talking that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error that made her sick before. Why they wait 15 years to do it. Well, that Strange actually ordered her killed. When he thought she was full on Tim and Katie, and she was to either be killed or destroyed, and made sure she had nothing. And nobody was allowed to say a word until Dave said he wanted a divorce, and it took him 15 years to say it. Well, they planned how they were going to do this for 15 years. That agent needs to get his facts straight. This was over Linda falling Tim and Katie. The whole thing was. And they planned her death for 15 years.